Boys, welcome to the 14.19 patch rundown. Basically, I'm going to give you a little small version of this video, and then later I'll come back and do a more fully fledged video. I just want to give you the best builds currently on day one patch, so you can go into ranked reliably and say, fuck it, we ball. So, there's two best builds right now that have become prevalent, I believe the word is, because, in general, tanky champions are doing better. Tank champions, tank items, bulkier champions like Mordekaiser with Rally Rush, Gwen, etc, etc. These champions are kind of prevailing because tanky items and tanky playstyles are generally better. So, on screen, boom, explosion, rune page. Run this rune page every game, no reason to divulge from it. I've tried out Lethal Tempo, but Lethal Tempo is pretty bad right now. So, while I do think Lethal Tempo is technology on Urgot, right now the rune page is really bad and it will get buffed, so that maybe once it's buffed, then, you know, we'll see Lethal Tempo Urgot, but unfortunately for now, give Lethal Tempo a miss. Run this rune page every game. Sometimes you can go Cosmic Insight for more flashes and more ignites, more teleports instead of Approach Velocity, but Approach Velocity is very good. Second explosion. Items. So, item build 1, Black Cleaver into Heartsteel, into Starax, into Overlord's Bloodmail, then Situational. That's the first build. The second build is Strikebreaker, Starax, Black Cleaver, Warmogs, Situational. So the second one is when you're playing against ranged champions. The first one is when you're playing against more generic melee champions, etc, etc. So both these builds work against pretty much everything. Strikebreaker first is mostly tech against ranged champions. So, you know, we're playing to two extremes. Playing against ranged champion, need the Strikebreaker to get the movement speed and to cut them out, yada yada yada. If we are against melee champions, we want the Black Cleaver to kill them in melee, yada yada yada. So, Heartsteel is becoming good because every other champion is tanky. Heartsteel is going to benefit because enemy champions aren't going to be dying, and they're going to be doing a lot less damage because all damage in League just got reduced. So you're walking around on 3 items with about 5,000 health with a Starax shield that gives you about 1.8, and then you have your E. So your effective HP is like, hey, how much HP can I do here? How much is my effective HP? How much health do I have total if I use my abilities and my items, yada yada yada. You're at about 8,000 HP on 3 items. In a meta where people have very low damage. So, that's why I'm recommending Heartsteel right now. The Yangus Beef, been trying it, Challenger Urgot NA. He's been liking it. Overlord Bloodmail got off with like a love tap nerf. So Overlord Bloodmail by proxy is also very good. Overlord Bloodmail has the innate synergy of Heartsteel and HP stacking, yada yada yada. So I know you're going to be skeptical when I say Heartsteel, but just give us a little bit. Matchup wise, I think Urgot remains... Okay, I'm going to yap for like 3 minutes about the state of Urgot. Timestamps will be in the description if you want to skip past, but TLDR, Urgot's in a really strong... Well, I wouldn't say strong. His power level hasn't really changed. I think he got slightly better, but more boring. There's less build diversity because of what the meta is, and you're kind of like shoehorned into doing like, hey, tanky builds, or hey, utility builds. But utility got weaker this patch because everyone is just tanky. So you can't use utility against tankiness, right? You build utility against champions squishy, like ADC's top lane. But ADC's top lane aren't really a thing anymore because they nerfed all the crit items, so Marksman and solo lane is just dead. Which is good, but don't get me wrong, but now the replacement for Marksman is just tanks. And Urgot benefits from a tank meta because tanks can't outwardly aggress onto Urgot and put you behind, right? Which is what you want to play against. The thing is, playing against that every game is really goddamn boring. I don't want to play against Ornn and Malphite every game. I want to play the game outside of just getting ganked top lane, you know? So yes, Urgot is slanted to be slightly stronger. Warden's Mail is like 3 times as strong against Urgot, so if you play against an Ornn who builds Warden's Mail, you are not having fun for the next foreseeable future. I'm already passing out as I'm talking, but yada yada yada. That's me yapping. Yeah, Urgot's stronger. I put him like S- tier, S tier. He's blindable. He has like no matchup that he can't like pilot. Like Kennen is probably like one of your worst matchups, Poppy, and etc, etc. But literally every single matchup that Urgot has that is bad is pilotable. You can beat main top now even just by putting like 3 points into Q, just eat flash, yada yada yada. So Urgot's strong, just slightly more boring. And that's pretty much it. I'll leave you a patch rundown of a matchup tier list here, and when I have more information to give you, I will give you more information. I just want to get this video out quickly so that you guys know what you should be doing going into your lobbies. So 07s, I'll keep testing. But so far, from my experience, Heartsteel is the schmoove because everyone is tankier and everyone does less damage, and you can just survive the bullshit and deal a ton of damage while being tanky. So, 07s, see you later. I'll do another patch video as I said, and I'll see you there. Bye!